Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back together for the second half of Wolves basketball. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Russell Silverson, and joining me to my right, my color commentator,
Seth Poirier.
Look to be an action-packed night. The Algonquin Wolves taking on the George Brown Huskies in the second half tonight. A lot of stuff to go through. Seth, you want to start this off, or you want me to start?
If you're gonna give it to me, I'll give it to me.
Go right ahead, take it away.
But yeah, Algonquin coming into this game 9-6, sitting at 4th place in the East, looking to really solidify themselves for the playoff. They got 3 games left. They got today, and they got 3 more, 2 more games. Now I'm kind of 3 more games. So they got today 3 more games. So they're really trying to solidify themselves and really, set them a good pace for the playoffs. They got a tough test here today. George Brown. Let's see here how they come out and play and see if they really focus on the little things, no mistakes, playing great defense, great offense, and the rebound game.
And the Wolves are a team, they're 9-6, 4th in the East, but they've lost 2 in a row in 3 of their last 4. They have the leading scorer in the league, Teslog Luke, who averages 20.7 points per game, but he put up just 10 points last game in an 86-78 loss versus Georgian Grizzlies. So he's a player where maybe if he had a couple more points, it could have turned the tide of the game. Good on George for really shutting him down. He's going to have a big game to come back tonight.
Yeah, 100%. And Teslog is one of those players where he has a lot of talent. You give him the ball, you give him a bit of space, he's going to take advantage of it. He's going to drive to the lane, put it right to the rim. But you saw a couple times, he's almost at half court looking like Stephen Curry out there shooting from deep. And a couple games. But it's sometimes a little bit of inconsistency, you'd say, in those games when he averages 10 points. So from what I understand, Russell, when he gets 20 points, they win the game. So maybe we'll see here today. Because they get 10 points, they lost that game. So let's see if they can achieve the W here today.
And another player to watch tonight, Simon Desta, went 4 for 9 in 3-point attempts in the loss against Grizzlies. So really good in that one. We'll see if he can repeat that performance today. You see it happening. He's been pretty dominant. He's the Sidney Moore of the men's team, right?
100%.
Vice versa.
And 100%. When he gets out there, he utilizes his minutes because he might not get that much, but utilizes his minutes, and he gets a lot of buckets and produces a lot for his team. And that's the reason why they also got 9 wins. He's one of those top contributors for his team. A lot of defense. This team is really strong defensively. They got better at that during the year. They started off a bit iffy when it comes to that, but they came out, and now they're really focused on that. Focus on defense. You're going to play great offense, Russell.
And last order of business, holding off Centennial for 4th place in the East. Currently, both teams are tied with a 9-6 record. A win tonight would help them keep that 4th spot. They just have the tiebreaker, but a loss tonight and a Centennial win would put them back at 5th here. So a tricky situation. A lot at stake here for the Wolves, wanting to hold on to that 4th spot in the East.
Yeah, you get set to that 4th spot. You're going to play a game at home versus the 5th team from the West. You flip that around. You're going away and you're traveling for the qualifying game. You don't want that. You want to play at home because when they come at home, they're a strong team at home. They're 5-3 at home. You got to utilize your crowd, and they do that well. We have a lot of crowd energy. We saw that for the women's game just earlier today. We saw that courtside.
Yep.
Courtside. Every time there's a 3 go up, man, they were going crazy, and you got to utilize that energy, and we'll see here if they do that today.
And last order of business, what are some players other than the 2 I just named to watch tonight, Seth?
Well, Jason Balmaceda, we see his name a lot. Balmaceda is going to be everywhere. He shoots from deep. He's able to get some good passes off. He's one of those players that are able to produce, but Algonquin has a lot of those players. A lot of those bench players that come in, get some time, get a lot of minutes, are those players that contribute a lot and able to really, that's how they function. They play a great defense. They kind of mix up man and zone. They're shifting really well, able to go sideways really well, get some deflections, but they're really strong and aggressive defensively, which we all know you play great defense, you're able to play a great offense.
And we'll see if they can keep the shutdown defense here tonight. We'll see you guys at game time.
Tonight's game marks the final regular season home game for 8 of our graduating seniors. The Algonquin Athletics Department would like to take a moment to thank them for their contributions to the men's basketball program and congratulate them on their successful careers as Algonquin Wolves. I'll now hand over the microphone to head coach Trevor Costello for some presentation. Okay, guys.
I'm going to try to be quick and not emotional. 33 years ago, this was me coming to accept my picture and dedication for years of service. I've been around for 25 years and had 400 athletes to Algonquin. And I'm still passionate at day one of this program. I want to thank my assistant coaches for the support through the year and past years. And let's get on with this. I'll try to be quick with each individual. Each individual is special, awesome in their own way, and they all contributed amazing. First guy, Disney. My boy Disney. 4 years ago, I met Disney when he was in grade 10. He would come to our runs when he was in grade 10, played with the college guys. I guess it was a great recruiting tool because he ended up here. And thank you, Gizem, for your years and your longevity of the program. Thank you, thank you. take it with a grain of salt. I mean, it's not supposed to be mean, it's kind of a joke. And it was the guys that talked about it earlier this year. In the change room, sometimes it's funny smells. And Ted has funny smelling socks. So, to cure that problem for the rest of the year, we found Ted in his pair of socks that got a nice bottle of Breeze for my friend Ted. Come on up, Teddy. You're not insulting me, Mom? Year guy, there's no more ball for him. Mateo, one thing about Mateo is he actually played one game for us for 40 full minutes. I haven't had a guy play 40 minutes the whole game for me in, I don't even remember how long. Anyways, Mateo is here. You got at least one game with 40 minutes. But if you look at Mateo, he doesn't really look scrawny, but he spends a lot of time on the sidelines, in the therapy room, stretching. He's a 25-year-old body, like a 55-year-old man's body. But to help him through his times, volunteering will get him through the next little phase of his career. Here you go, Tim, with your volunteering. Let's go. Okay. And last. My guy sucks. There's been lots of hours with this guy. Thousands of hours. And there's been a lot of heartache, but a lot of pleasure too. He will be missed. He is the all-time leading scorer in Algonquin. I don't know if I'll ever see a guy break the record. And it is a special record. Now with that, you guys know the Jordan guy. Not the nicest Jordans, but I like it. And I got you a pair of fresh jeans, and I want to give up a pair of Thank you for your patience, guys. Thank you very much.
Let's meet the starters for the George Brown Huskies. Starting for the Huskies from Montreal, QC, Nicolas Dutelbert. Starting for George Brown from the American Association, Fernando Ibe Champion. Starting for George Brown, number 21. Davis Brown. Starting for George Brown, number 20, Javon Ray Woodbury. Starting for the George Brown Huskies at 6'8", John Perlman alumni, number 12, Na C. Berry. And coach, Jason Dawkins, assistant coach, on green, assistant coach, Shane Gaines. assistant coach, point guard, Lou. If it's your first time at the Arc, cheer one team and one team only. The team in the white jerseys, your Algonquin Wolves.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Arc for some Algonquin College Wolves basketball, taking on the George Brown Huskies as we await tip-off here. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Russell Silverson, and joining me, as always, to my left is my color commentator,
Seth Poirier.
and game is underway here. Wolves start with possession. La Chapelle, the Desta, over to Balmaceda. Balmaceda working his way around, finds Desta, who's going to look for three early. Bang! And look at the crowd here. They all know it. They all want it. Simon Desta, a big three to start this game on his first attempt tonight. Went 4 for 9 last game, and he's 1 for 1 tonight.
It looks like from the start, that's how you want to start. And it looks like, Russell, that they're taking the page out of the women's basketball team, hitting all those threes. They might be the favorite number 2 for the men's team. But that was an incredible shot, incredible way to start this game.
And wasn't right on the line either. It was a couple steps back, too. Beautiful play shot by Simon Desta. Oh, and he tried to go 2 for 2 right off the bat. Now one will go off the rim with Balmaceda having it now. Desta out from far. Passing it in is Ted Braden in the paint. Trying to get caught up. And that play will get called dead.
And Russell, there's a reason Simon Desta is the leading scorer for the Wolves. Senior, been here for a couple years. He gets shots like that, and you get a couple of looks like that, you're going to make those shots, and he's not a player you want to leave open. Not at all.
And he has the ball again here, feeding Ted Braden down low. And that one batted away and picked up by George Brown. Moving it back to Jez. This is their first time touching the ball this game. They're going to lay it up, and that shot tipped away and picked up by Chris LaChapelle. Moving it right down Main Street. Handing it off to Mongrue. He gives it to Balmaceda. He'll look around. Gives it to Braden. He wants to give it to Desta. He does. And then Balmaceda tried to shoot, went in down low, and finds Mongrue in the paint. And that one off the rim and out. Recovered by Braden. Being forced heavy to the outside and eventually picked off, and now George Brown has it. And that pass broken up by Ted Braden, but George Brown keeps possession. LaChapelle tried to tip that pass, and it'll just stay inside. Huskies working the ball. Not able to get inside the paint. They're looking for it. Wolves doing a good job of keeping to the outside, and the shot clock will expire. Saw a lot from the women's team, like very pass first team, what we're seeing here. Early on, this Huskies team passing a lot from just outside the perimeter.
Yeah, Algonquin defensively is not letting anything go down to the key. They're not going to give you, Algonquin's team, they're not going to give you free shots. They're going to let you go in and get plays. You got to work for it. You got to go and get your money.
Here's Balmaceda, bang! And the first 2 Wolves buckets of the night will be 3-pointers. This one by Jansen Balmaceda.
And that's an incredible player. We talked about him a bit in the pregame. He's going to be a big reason why Algonquin will score a lot of points in this game.
And Huskies trying to work their way inside. Won't get it, and LaChapelle gets it and gives it right over to Mongrue. And they'll get called for that. Play will be whistled dead.
So far, we're seeing a lot of fast play, Russell. We're seeing a lot of defensively and offensively for Algonquin. They're playing fast offense. They're turning back defensively, and they're in the Huskies' face, and they don't know exactly what to do. And offensively, they're passing the ball a lot of great ball movement, and the passing has been on point so far.
Ted Braden almost putting that one right in, but just couldn't quite get it. Bounces out, and ball recovered by the Huskies as they work their way back up. Trying to move their way in. Trouble finding area in the paint. Mongrue almost getting completely tackled. He'll fall to the ground. He got pressured by 2 Husky players. And they'll go go to the ground. Huskies will start with the ball behind the Algonquin logo. Huskies looking for a pass. Finds a guy in the paint, can't get it. Broken up by Braden, kept in. And Huskies going for a shot from deep, won't get it. LaChapelle picks it up. Simon Desta. Balmaceda is out from far. Balmaceda working the perimeter. Signaling his players to move around. LaChapelle. He's looking for a pass. He's going to drive in. Gives it to Mongrue, who tips that one up, and it'll go over the net and out. As the Huskies play the ball, far pass here. Huskies waiting for it. Going for three. That one right off the rim and recovered by the Wolves. Desta gives it off to LaChapelle. Trying to find Braden, and that one's too high. And that pass just missed. Chris LaChapelle.
So far, defensively, Algonquin has been staying to their game plan. One of the keys to win for them is staying strong defensively. And so far, only allowing one bucket, but they're playing really well defensively, not allowing any chance of a penetration for the Huskies to go to the bucket, which is really well organized and really great game plan set up by that coaching staff. So far, it's looking great for them.
And that rebound picked up by LaChapelle, and down, Balmaceda wide open! Oh, and a big-time block by the Huskies, keeps that one out. As they move it back up, Huskies slits out the hands but keeps possession. Moving the ball fast, trying to drive in now. Back to the outside, going for three. From deep, off the rim and out, recovered by Desta. Going one-on-one, back-to-back. Ted Braden trying to jump in, and he'll get that bucket. And he's hyped for that one.
100%. That's what you got to do, Russell. You got to go to the lane. You got to drop the ball in. And you get some contact, you're going to be able to get to the free throw line. And you get to the team that gets to the free throw line the most is the team that's going to be obviously get the lead like we see right now. And we saw that with the women's game just earlier today. Get to the free throw line 7-8 times. You get buckets from there, and you're just changing the way the game goes. You get to the free throw line, you're getting obviously your opponent in foul trouble.
And a lot of wide open court so far, and we're seeing that there. Huskies drain their first three of the night. This one by Frey Woodbine.
He Tesla driving to the rim. He kind of got a little bit misplayed with the ball. The ball kind of went out of his hands, but again, able to get the foul there, go back to the foul line, and that's the second foul in the last 10 seconds here for Algonquin. And Russell, that's a big part of their game and a big reason why they've been contributing so far this game.
And he's a guy who only had 10 points last game. For his expectations, that's lower compared to his average. But good on him. He doesn't start tonight, but he comes off the bench, gets the foul, and he gets the free throw attempt.
Exactly, and it's half of what he usually averages a game. He averages just above 20%, Russell, and that's it almost seems when he dominates and he gets that over the 20 points, their chances of winning keeps going up. The probability of them winning the game goes up. They score under he scores 10 points, it goes down, and it doesn't look too great for them in the win column.
George Brown playing along outside the three-point line, spinning in and whistled dead. Algonquin will get possession with Desta set to start.
So far, Russell, I like the way they're playing offensively and defensively. They're playing really aggressive. Both these teams, you see George Brown right now playing a zone full court here. Pressure, it's really nice to see George Brown play this type of defense and force Algonquin to, play a different type of game. We see both coaches getting in it right now. So it's a great first quarter, the great first half of this first quarter.
And yes, it has been. As the Huskies look to work the ball back up. Passing it in, struggling to get inside the paint. Handing it off. Huskies controlling that perimeter. Looking for the right time to make a move, and they will. Beautiful play in tight by Naz Robert of the George Brown Huskies. Teslock Luke handed it off. Give it over to Balmaceda. Gives it to Desta from far, and he'll shoot for three. Bang! And the crowd goes wild. Threes up in the air. Simon Desta.
And they're really doing that, a great job at doing that, Russell, in this early going of this game of getting threes, and not just getting open threes. Desta was in that corner, and he had two guys right on him, and he got the ball. He came in, and he just shot it right away. He didn't even have time to place his hands. Ball was touching his hands. Ball's up, and you saw him. He turned away looking like Curry out there, getting high five to his teammates after hitting that three, and going up 12-6 here with just under 4 minutes left here.
And already 2 threes on the night for Simon Desta, and he'll look for more. Teslock Luke tries to drive in. He'll get that one up, and it goes over the net. As Huskies come back in transition. Looking off, passing from far, a lot of time to shoot, but he's gonna pass it off again. Huskies in tight, and bang, into the basket.
He made the Algonquin defender jump, pump faked him, and he just passed his teammate, went right underneath him, laid it in for an easy bucket.
Teslock Luke giving off the ball, Balmaceda. Fighting Devontae Brooks. He's working in tight, can't quite get it, and they're gonna go off and come back the other way for the Huskies. Huskies walking the three-point line. Looking for the right moment to walk into the paint, and they will. With a pass back to the outside. Huskies passing across, going for three. Off the rim, recovered by Mongrue, and not just quite kept in. Teslock Luke made a second-ditch effort, but he couldn't keep it in either. Teslock to start, gives out the ball, Balmaceda. Using his legs. He's a fast player. Spinning around. Trying to make some options. Fight Teslock Luke in deep.
Once again, great cut by Teslock Luke, going right to the basket. Balmaceda finds him, ditches it off. He catches it one hand. He goes up to the rim, doesn't get it in, but able to get a foul and able to go back to the free throw line.
Teslock Luke now drawing the foul, and he's going to get the free throw. And the first one is good. He missed his first shot of his first attempt and his last free throw attempt, but he'll get the first one on this try. See if he can go 2 for 2 now. And he will. He'll drain that bucket and get up to his 3rd point on the night. As the Huskies circle around the perimeter, looking for options. Going around. Really driving the outside, and that pass almost broken up. But walking in, left wide open, and a big-time block by Ted Braden.
Great block by him, Russell, but unfortunately he does get the foul call.
And it was a last-ditch effort, right? The Wolves trying to force a turnover. They already started a little rush up, but it left 2 Huskies down deep and almost a basket. But good on Ted Braden getting that final block. They'll have to fend off a free throw attempt, but saved a basket nonetheless, and that attempt is no good. One left here for Davis Brown. He'll put it up. Off the rim, 0 for 2. Devontae Brooks gets it, gives it back to Teslock Luke. Luke driving in, trying to pump up. Oh, and that one snagged away by the Huskies as they regain possession and go back the other way. Nicely, back with it, hands it off, and there's a shot. Teslock Luke with it now. Trying to walk in, handing it off. To Opena, down to Ted Braden. Braden going right into the paint. And that one off the rim and out. And Teslak Luke breaking up a pass, and Devontae Brooks was almost going to get there. He got tripped up. And a discussion now with the refs they're going to have. Did Devontae Brooks trip over himself, or was he tripped? And I think they're going to come to the conclusion that he was.
Yeah.
Monte sitting just outside the paint. We await a discussion.
A lot of discussion here from the assistant coach and the ref here. I don't know exactly what we're arguing about. Still going to be Algonquin's ball.
And it will not be a free throw attempt, but Algonquin will start behind the line. And Brooks gets this, working in the paint. Can't quite get it. It's picked up by George Brown. George Brown with speed. Working up. Bump just to the outside, and Huskies will start with it again.
This game is a must-win game, Russell, if you're the Wolves. We're leading right now 14-8. Talking playoffs, we're talking standings, but when you look at it, they're on the 2-game losing streak, back-to-back losses. Let's see here if they can flip that switch, get a win, and set their sights on the big prize, which is playoffs, and bigger prize than that, which is the championship game.
Teslak Luke spinning around. Trying to make a pass. And that one's going to go outside. Looking for Haven Holder. Huskies. Just outside the logo. Now outside the three-point line. Refs will whistle play dead.
A lot of fouling recently.
A lot of fouling in this one. Yeah, women's game was very wide open. Kind of just flowed, but this one, not one bit. A lot of stoppages in play. It's always better to just see the game flow. Sometimes the refs have to make the call, though, so sometimes you have to live with it.
Algonquin's a team that hits the 80-point mark a lot. They average 81.5 points a game. So a lot of scoring by these Wolves men's basketball team. It's only 14 points here in the first quarter. 42 seconds left here. Russell, do we see them going to 80 points?
It's possible. I mean,
anything's possible at the end of the day.
Anything's possible.
But the thing that's 100% certain that we can agree on right now is that Algonquin's got to win the game to set a game up over their opponent, or else they can drop easily to fifth place in the East and a better seeding for the playoffs.
Yeah, you want to control your own destiny. You know, if they lose tonight, Centennial plays it, they have a chance. They'll get that win and control their destiny and take that fourth spot from Algonquin. So you don't want to hope for a Centennial loss. You want to control your own destiny and get your own win tonight.
Set them a step closer to the playoffs with 2 games left after that, and then it just playoffs with that. So if they can get a home game in the qualifying round, it'd be a big plus for this men's basketball team.
Teslak Luke going for the free throw attempt. That one taking a weird bounce off the inside of the rim and out. All his points have come off free throw shots tonight. And he'll look to get number 4. He won't. 0 for 2. As the Huskies work their way back up the court. Move it up is Barry. Passing it off to Robert. He's going to go in and just off the rim and out. And a 3-point shot here by the Huskies, and that will be no good. And that first quarter will come to an end. Wolves up by 3 after the first. Close quarter so far. We've seen a lot of back and forth here. Algonquin just narrowly pulling away with it. They had a big lead at one point, but the Huskies have narrowed it down. Seth, your thoughts on the opening quarter?
Well, Russell, it's been It's been a back and forth, like you said, a close first quarter. Not really used to seeing this close quarter, low-scoring quarter. No one hit the 20-point mark yet. So it's interesting to see what's going to go, how it's going to go. But one thing's for sure, they got to minimize their turnovers. They got to play under control. They got to control what they can control, take advantage of what George Brown's giving them, turn all that around, go put a basket. But they got to keep getting to that free throw line. What they've been doing really well so far, they got to do that. They got to keep playing on their toes, putting George Brown on their heels. But they can't let those easy buckets go by them. They got to stay strong defensively. And
a lot of fouls in that first quarter, a lot of stoppages of play. Kind of wondering here if this physicality and abruptness continues.
Yeah, 100%. It's the game of basketball, right? Both teams, and it's always going to be like that. One team, if you're on offense, you're trying to go put the ball to the basket. Defense, you're trying to stop them. A little bit of a little push here and there. You're going to get the foul call, offense or defense. So if you're on offense, you go up to the rim. You're trying to get a bit of that contact, absorb it, put the ball in the rim, go to the free throw line. And that's what Algonquin's been doing really well so far in this first quarter, and look for them to keep doing that in the second quarter.
And Teslock Luke really enjoying those free throw attempts. All of his points coming off free throw shots tonight. 3 of them to be exact. And hopefully we can see some more threes. Hasn't really shot a lot field goal wise or 3-point wise. Is this maybe another slow start for him like last game?
It could be a slow start. Could be a reason why he's come off the bench. Could be a reason. But at the end of the day, it's a game like that. If he scores 3 points but his team wins, then he's just flipping the script of what happened last game when he only scored 10. But the chances of them winning, he has to produce more points. That's what it says on the paper, Russell. I'm not lying to you. That's just the facts that are proven to me. But he's going to come up and look for him to be close to that 20-point mark by the end of this game.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. And I wouldn't be surprised myself as this second quarter kicks off. Galaza handing it back off. And here's the man, Teslock Luke. The Wolves cycling around, a lot of quick passes. Looking to drive. Opena shooting that and getting it. Get his team up to 16 on the night.
Yeah, and Russell, we talked about close games. It was just 14-11 2 seconds ago, now 16-11. Algonquin has had 2 close games this year, losing 80-78 and losing 82-76 to Durham. So those are 2 close games that they just had in their reach and they let it go. So they're not used. They're used to being in these close games, and this is not something new for them. So that's why they're under control. They're calm. They're poised. They know what to do in these type of situations. But we don't want to be close forever. We got to go. Yeah. We got to separate ourselves from the scoreboard.
Yeah, they're a team that gets into a lot of close matches, and it's been evident over the losing streak.
Once again, number 24, Tesla going right back to the free throw line.
And, mentioned how he wasn't, getting a lot of field goals and not really shoot a lot outside of the free throw attempts, but maybe he doesn't have to. When he's drawing so many, maybe he can just bank free throw shots all night. Who knows? Went 0 for 2 on his last attempt. He'll drain the first one here.
And that's not a bad recipe, right? You get points wherever you can get points. That free throw, that's 3 points, that's a 2-pointer. Doesn't matter how you get your points. You go get your points.
And this isn't a matter of luck either. He's the leading scorer. Teams know this, right? They got to watch him. Sometimes you just got to play a little bit harder on the players who score the most points, and I think that's been the case tonight. He's gotten a lot of free throw attempts tonight. That's what, his 3rd?
Yeah, he's getting there, and that's all. They're moving the ball. They're forcing George Brown to play on their heels, and it's forcing them defensively, the Huskies, to, they have no choice. You have Luck running to the basket. What are you going to do? Let him score? Or are you going to try and stop him? You try to stop him. But when you have a team and players that are really good and effective when it comes to that free throw percentage, it's hard. What do you get in that easy bucket, or you have them go to free throw line and go shoot? It's a matter of decision making there.
Peter Yokai with it now. Walking in, has a bit of a lead. Oh, and taken down George Brown. A lot of contact. He tried to jump right over and try to scoop that one in, but take down a Husky in the process. Thankfully, no one injured on the play, and play will resume with George Brown to start. Huskies looking to make a pass along the perimeter, trying to drive the paint now. Spinning back, handing it off. And no point there, but will be a free throw shot.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure with Algonquin right now. They got to finish strong. Not a lot of games left. Last game in front of this crowd before playoffs start. So you don't want this to be your last game at home. So you got to come out with a win here today, and you got to at least win one of the last games to be able to secure a home qualifying game. So you have one more. This crowd, these fans have one more chance of seeing their team in action.
Teslog Luke trying to feed CJ Galaza, and his pass will too hot to handle, bouncing out of bounds.
Russell, for me, I feel the communication has been pretty well so far. I don't know if you agree with me, but they're talking, they're communicating pretty well so far. Algonquin defensively and offensively moving to where they need to be, and to better their chances of either scoring or stopping the Huskies of scoring. I don't know if you agree with that.
No, I agree. The communication has been there. There have been a couple missed passes by Teslog Luke, though, and I kind of wonder if that maybe just between him and some other players is a bit of miscommunication there.
Yeah, exactly.
Or just, we mentioned how he's in a bit of a slump here. It could be that, too.
It could be exactly a bit of a slump. We saw that a couple, I believe it was towards the end of the first quarter, just down here towards the baseline. Him and his teammate kind of turned the other side. Teslog threw the ball and tried to pass it and wasn't really on the same page. So I think it's not really a communication of, okay, go there. It's more of being on the same page with their teammates, more than that type of communication a little bit more. I think that's what they got to do the next step.
We'll just have to wait and see as the Wolves are up 6 coming out of this timeout. Plenty more basketball to go. Start. George Brown to start with the ball. Guarded by Hayden Holder. The Huskies are going to make a couple quick moves to get to the paint. CJ Galaza will get knocked down, but that shot will go nowhere and won't go in. Huskies make some passes. They do. Hand it off. A little slip up. And that one will go out. Duderville lost an edge. And that ball will go outside. Frey Woodbine to get it, and he'll toss it out. Huskies with it. Shooting for 3. Now one, a double bounce from the inside, and it'll go out. Algonquin looking to cover. Opena. He's guarded one-on-one with Duderville. Looking for options. He almost getting trapped by the outside, and that ball will go off the foot. George Brown, and play will be halted.
Yeah, playing the wrong sport. Looking like Messi out there, kicking a free kick.
Stopping it with the foot.
Exactly,
yeah.
But no. It's going to be a kick ball. It's going to be Algonquin's ball down at the baseline. Let's see what they can come up with here to get someone open and get a shot in.
Balmaceda handed to Ted Braden, and that stop for a travel. And the slew of calls continue. Play consistently being stopped tonight.
Yeah, there's less, compared to that women's game, Russell, there's less of free play, I would say. There's a lot more stoppage of play. There's a lot of fouls very early. The women's game got to like the third, fourth quarter before there was a lot of free throw attempts. Now it seems like we're both teams, and especially Algonquin, living at the free throw line.
Huskies walking the perimeter. Roberts moving inside, shooting from just outside the paint. Won't get it, and Opena has it. He moves it up with speed. Little inside, outside. A lot of moves here for Opena. And he'll hand it off to Westcart. Westcart back to Opena. Balmaceda. LaChapelle to Braden. Ted Braden gonna walk in, tries to scoop that one over and won't get it. And the Huskies will come back the other way. James trying to come in. Oh, and right off the backboard and in. Puts his team just 2 baskets behind the Wolves as Opena tries to work his way back up the court. Hand it off to Westcart. Gives it to Braden. Handing it off to Balmaceda. Great pass. Oh, and around the world, and he won't get it in. And back come the Huskies. James handing it off. And that 3 is no good. And Opena tried to look for Balmaceda down deep. Isn't able to find him. Good coverage by the Huskies.
Seen a lot of confusion recently. A lot of. Oh, I think Algonquin just got a technical foul. Did I see that right? I thought the ref came over, showed him no idea what happened there.
And Opena, the Balmaceda. And he'll get called for a travel.
It seems like we're always in the foul or out of bounds or travel.
A lot of stoppages in play today. Most I've seen definitely this year.
100%.
Huskies working the ball. Jamar James handing it off. Huskies with it. Working it through the legs. Handing it off to Woodbine. Back again. And that one off the rim. And another stoppage in play as Chris LaChapelle will wait to start with the ball for his club.
We haven't seen a lot of score in the second quarter.
We went to all the stoppages, right?
We went to the break 14-11. Only 2 buckets for the Wolves and one free throw that was good, and then a bucket for the Huskies. A very, very low scoring game.
Yeah, probably due to a lot of stoppages in play. The momentum hasn't really been able to be sustained. Jamar James tries to put that one up. He'll slip down, and it won't go. And a quick 3 by the Huskies right off the rim. LaChapelle tried to knock that one down, but he can't. And that one, no good. It swished the net, but did not go inside the hoop. Oh, and Ted Braden, the big man, is wide open! And bang, that one's in.
That was a great play. Great play for Ted to be right open down the middle, and that vision for those passages, find where they need to go and put it where it needs to be.
And the Huskies working in. Keeping that play just inside. It almost went out of bounds. But good on the Huskies for keeping that one in. And Frey Woodbine sink that bucket. Desta. Hand it off to LaChapelle. He's going to try to drive his way in. And he'll get called.
And Russell, we haven't seen a lot of big shots. We saw a couple threes early from Simon Desta, but since those shots, we haven't seen anything crazy happening. It's just been really basic basketball being happened, but a lot of stoppage of play, like you mentioned, could be a reason why nothing crazy has happened.
And George Brown has attempted a lot of threes. They're just hitting them. They place themselves all along that three-point line. A lot of quick passes, trying to get that quick 3, but just haven't been able to get it so far. If they get a couple, though, they can tie this game up pretty fast. And that's a beauty for the Wolves. It puts them back up big as they start to pad this lead again on the Huskies. Ted Braden, big man, picking up with speed, fighting the next big man, Chris LaChapelle. who can't get it on the first attempt, but will whack it up again off the backboard, and that one will go in.
And that's something really big that Algonquin needs to step up their game is their second chance points. That ball goes up. You saw him. That ball goes up, and before he even has time to even see what happens, he's already jumping up and touching the ball for it to go back in the net. Or, sorry, to go in the net.
And a free throw attempt here now for the Huskies, and specifically Nicholas Duderville. And the first shot is good. The second one is also good. 2 for 2, and that one is Duderville. And that'll be his first 2 points on the night. Luke starts with it. Handing it off to Desta. LaChapelle. Bounce pass to Westcarth. Westcarth finding a lane, putting it up! That one backfires and it goes off the backboard.
Yeah, and that's a great way of cutting into the lane. We're seeing a lot of that from Algonquin offensively. They're either fighting their teammate cutting in the lane or they're cutting in the lane. And that's been a great point so far this game, how they're creating buckets. They're cutting right, going left, right down the middle, finding the ball, finding their open teammate, getting the ball, and laying it in for a point, for 2 points.
Westcart will give his second attempt a couple bounces, where that one bounces off the rim and out. Huskies back up with it. Duderville spinning around, handing it off, setting his man up good for a three-point shot. Can't quite get it. Rebound's picked up. And Westcarth speeding away, walking in. Layup's good. Oh, no, it's not. A couple. That one rolled off the rim, didn't even bounce. And it is no good.
So see another trip at the free throw line. A lot of momentum is on Algonquin's side. It doesn't really show much on the scoreboard, only 25-18, but there's a lot of momentum in the air, and Algonquin's really taking control of that momentum, Russell.
And LaChapelle draining his first free throw shot. And the chance to go 2 for 2. And that one, hard bounce off the rim and out. Huskies will start yet again. Back on their own side. Handing it off. Ted Braden knocking that pass down.
You gotta have quick hands, and that's what Ted has in that moment right there. And that's what a lot of these Algonquin Wolves men's basketball players have. They're quick, they're fast. And there's a reason that those plays are made. Those interception type plays, those steals, all created by being fast.
That one going up and recovered by the big man, Ted Braden. Hands it off to the second big man, Chris LaChapelle. And spinning in is Ted Braden. Oh, and that one, I thought it was going to roll out, but it goes in. And that's a big 2 for Algonquin, now having a 10-point lead on the night. Huskies keeping the outside, guarded by Luke. Trying to walk in. Huskies wide open! And left the paint wide open. Gives the Huskies an easy basket. Cut the lead down by 8.
Able to get up there for the dunk. First dunk of the night. Don't see much of those, and we saw that one right there.
Yeah. Westcarth trying to drive in. Desta trying to shoot but can't. Walking in. Throwing it up. Falling down. He won't get it. And back come the Huskies. Working up. They have numbers. And they have time. Shooting off the rim. And that one recovered by Braden, or almost was. Picked up by Luke. And then passed over to Braden Westcarth. Trying to push his way in. No, and that one will bounce off the rim. The play was whistled dead regardless.
And their defensive game for Algonquin has been strong. They're causing a lot of pressure. A lot of times George Brown does not know what to do offensively, and that's a big reason why Algonquin has been kind of flipped the page since their start of the year, able to really come out and play really strong defensively, and it shows in their offensive game how well their defensive game plan is it turned into.
Clearly working for them tonight as they have a 9-point lead, and West Carth will look to make it 10. Now we'll take a bounce it out, and the Huskies look to move the ball back up with speed. Looking back, trying to cut into the paint. Get it back to the 3-point line. Oh, and that pass broken up by Javon Westcarth. He's got Desta with him, and Desta can't put that one up. Great defensive play by Nassim Berry to stop Simon Desta from a good scoring opportunity.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those circus-type shots, Russell, today, and not able to get that one. That would have been a beautiful bucket if he was going to be able to land that in, but nothing less. Back at the free throw line, let's see if we can make these buckets go up by 10 and hit the 30-point mark.
Simon Desta, that one will be just short. He'll try to hit the second one now. And he will. Get his team to 30 on the night. Huskies trying to work it off. Teslock guarding heavy. Duderville, he's got moves, got speed, walking in. And that one off the rim. And Westcarth hurling this one down to Desta. Coming it back, great play, Ted Braden! Wow, slam dunk! What a play by your Algonquin College Wolves. Extending that lead to 31 on the night.
Great pass by Simon Desta, coming down, scooping it under the rim, able to lay it in. And Ted does the rest. There's a reason he's the player he is. With his height, he's able to get out there, slam dunk that, like you called it. Great call, by the way. That was you saw the excitement in that call, the excitement in your voice, and that's going to be 31-20 here.
An 11-point lead now for Algonquin. It's Teslock Luke just started back up. Hands it off to Chris LaChapelle. Back to Luke. Tries to spin around, and he ran out of room. Guarded heavy by the Huskies. Both coaches very active on the sideline. Very loud. And that pass went to nobody. Chikwi put that one out. The Wolves will take a timeout here.
Yeah,
Seth, big 10-point lead for the Wolves so far. Beautiful slam dunk recently. But what else is there to talk about in this match?
Well, so far, it's been that type of game. We talked about not a lot of big shots, but that right there, that's a big play. But it's a lot of passing defensively, and defensively they're doing good at it. They got to keep up their defensive game, the defensive pressure. But once again, they got to utilize what George Brown's given them. They got to take it, they got to run with it, and go from there. But one thing they're doing good, and there haven't been too much of this compared to earlier in the year, is they're taking their shots, they're taking open shots, they're not taking shots that they don't need to take. They're not forcing any shots. They're utilizing the space on the court. They're passing the ball a lot better. Ball movement is really key, and they're sticking to that. And they're shooting what needs to be shot. Simon Desta, he'll shoot it, but he's not going to shoot it if it's not open. He's going to pass it off to his teammate. He's able to do the shot that he wants. We'll see if he's able to maybe get a couple more shots in, because he had those quick 2 3-pointers in the first quarter, but we haven't seen much of him downtown so far. So we'll see what happens here.
Hasn't been a lot of 3 points in this game, period here. George Brown attempting a lot, but not burying them. And Algonquin not attempting many at all, really trying to drive towards the net, get that paint, and it's worked for them so far. They're up by 10. It's Teslock Luke. Starts with it now. He's at the logo. Gets past it. Bumping off Duderville. and working his way up. And that one won't go. And Simon Desta, a chance for three, and he'll go off the rim. It's George Brown. Works the ball back up. Duderville has it. Duderville handing it off. And George Brown shooting for three. Off the rim. And picked up. And again, the rebound. Oh, and tried to go for the dunk, but LaChapelle will stop him. No entry here.
I don't know why that foul was really blown, Russell, because ball was in the air and he's up there, and Chappelle goes and touches the ball. I didn't see him touch anything else but the ball there. I don't know if you saw something different, but from up here, it didn't seem like it was a foul.
With under a minute to go, Davis Brown will get the free throw attempt for the George Brown Huskies. And the first attempt is good.
Makes his free throw, cuts the lead down to 9.
And we'll see if he can cut it to 8, and he will. And Algonquin with under a minute now, 37.8 seconds to make a move on offense. And that one, a beautiful pass down low, and Ted Braden, wow, right down Main Street and into Tim Hortons. And Simon Desta drove him down Main Street. Beautiful pass.
Second dunk for Ted here.
He's got back-to-back both up passes from Simon Desta, and some more offense maybe coming as Desta works it up. Only a few seconds left, and that pass will get broken up, but it's kept in. And they'll blow it out of bounds. With 2.9 seconds left to go in this first half of action.
Timeout, 3 seconds left. Russell, what do you think needs to be done to go into the locker room, keeping this 10-point lead?
Continue to play the way they have. They've been finding some gaps to pass, make some deep shots here. We've seen 2 beautiful slam dunks by Ted Braden, but it wasn't the pass to Simon Desta that got the ball to that end of the court. It was 2 passes from their own end. Tesla Luke getting the most recent one, a beautiful chuck down to Simon Desta. And Desta doing what he does best, being a playmaker, finding his guys open. Set up 2 beautiful Ted Braden slam dunks.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they got to keep doing. They got to keep playing their game. They got to keep doing what they're doing. They got 10-point lead here. I believe there's around 3.4 seconds left in the second quarter. Going into halftime, we know how important that lead is. Algonquin's got to make sure they have a 10-point lead, and really that's going to solidify how the halftime goes for them if they can have it. Because 10 points compared to 8 is a big difference.
100%. They'll have to look to keep this lead with 2.9 seconds left to go. Algonquin takes back the court, and they wait the Huskies to come back. Both teams ready to face off for another exhilarating 2.9 seconds.
It's going to be the Huskies' ball, 2.9 seconds. Are we seeing a football type throw here to try to knock it in, or
Hail Mary? A couple guys go far. They'll hand it to the guy that's the closest. And a buzzer beater off the rim and out. Wolves up by 10 at the half here. So we look to break it all down for you, Seth. It was back and forth for a while, and then the Wolves went up big, and then they got close, but then the Wolves finally ended up big again. What were their keys to success in this first half?
Well, they're playing strong defensively, and that's a big thing. They're able to side shuffle where they want to go. Their hands are moving all the time. They're not stopping their feet. They're not stopping their hands. There's always movement with they're doing really well this game of increasing their shots. The shot efficiency has been really good. They're only shooting what they need to shoot. They're not forcing anything, which was a big problem earlier in the season, and that's a reason why they're able to have this lead. That's why they have these points. Should it be a little higher? Yes. A lot of fouls, a lot of whistles, That's a different type of game. But we'll see how this halftime goes and how they come out here. But George Brown been playing pretty good so far too. Missing a lot of shot them. They're still able to play defensively in a certain way, but Algonquin's playing really fast. They're running down the court, getting these long passes, and that's destroying the game plan of the Huskies defensively.
Couldn't agree with you more, Seth. We'll be back after this short break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Algonquin Wolves basketball at the Arc. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the second half of Wolves basketball. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Russell Silverson, and joining me to my left, as always, is my color commentator,
Seth Poirier.
and we're looking for a big second half action here of Wolves basketball taking on the George Brown Huskies.
And Russell, we said how important it is to go into halftime, 10-point lead, and that's what Algonquin it did. So let's see here coming out of halftime what kind of adjustments they're making offensively and defensively to try to obviously produce more points and not allow open shots and points for the Huskies.
And it was a game where Algonquin wasn't really taking a lot of three-point shots. They weren't really shooting from far. They were driving right inside.
A lot of fouls because of it.
A lot of fouls, too. Both ends are getting a lot of fouls. So I kind of wonder if there's any adjustments made, if we're going to see more shooting or more of the kind of the same rough and tough fouling that we've been kind of getting. And so far, been a lot of shooting from far. And Ted Braden inside the paint, not getting it.
He's got to make those shots, though, Russell. He's up there. He's got the height. He puts his hand up. It's basically touching the rim. He's got to put those balls in the net. We saw him with those two dunks, but here he has to do that. So that's a rare miss for him, and he's got to do the next shots that he has open like that, and free range, he's got to put it in.
Oh, and wide open. But won't get it. As the Huskies come back in transition. Working the line. Coming around to the Huskies. Frey Woodbine. Handing it off to Mullins. And that one going off, but play will be whistled dead.
Another foul. A lot of players will be in foul trouble soon. A lot of players with 3-4 fouls. So let's see if that comes in an issue the way that Huskies are playing defensively.
And Huskies continue to circle around the three-point line. And this time, they'll drain the three. And that's a big-time shot, and they haven't hit a lot of threes. They've been trying to attempt them, but this is a good way to start this third quarter. And they move back up in transition. Checking it across. Frey Woodbine has it. Handing it back off. Huskies still have it. Chikwe handing it back off to Frey Woodbine. Putting it up and over the net. Recovered by Desta. And they'll send it back the other way to Balmaceda. Balmaceda stepping back up. Hitting Ted Braden. Looking for LaChapelle. That pass is blocked and go the other way. Algonquin coming back in transition. Frey Woodbine for three. Right off the rim, heavy. And Wolves and Huskies down on the ground, and they both just sit there and have a chuckle at it. As Chris LaChapelle will start with the Wolves just outside of bounds. Handing it off to Balmaceda. Gives it to LaChapelle. Gives it to Braden. Braden finding Balmaceda wide open, and then to Desta, who's even more wide open. And that one will go off the rim. No three-pointer there, but Ted Braden working his way in, the big man. And he'll power his way in, and he'll get his 10th point on the night.
And just like that, he's
12th.
He's able to get his revenge from last shot that he missed and able to drive, use his power, and put it in.
Very consistent as of late. Ted Braden just powering through tonight. And a game where we've seen a lot of drives towards the net. Well, he does it better than anyone else, and we've seen it here. Chris LaChapelle trying to get that one. He just can't, and bang! On the rebound, Mateo Mongru puts that one in. Jamar James will start with it, and he gives it back off to Duderville. Gives it to Frey Woodbine. Spinning around, he's got moves. Handing it off to Chikwe, and that one intended for Woodbine, but it'll go outside of bounds.
A little miscommunication of who's going to get what ball and ends up going out of bounds. That's not what you want for the Huskies. Algonquin's got to take control. Gotta take advantage of this turnover and the sequence of events that happen here, and they gotta flip the switch, and they gotta go and gotta get some points up.
And LaChapelle trying to put that one in. 2 efforts at it. Not even him and his trusty headband could get that one in. But he will draw the free throw attempt. One bounce. And the shot. Oh, and a couple bounces off the top of that rim, and the bounces will go his way, and it will count for a point. And the second shot is also good, and a clean one this time. And he'll get his club to 40 on the night. A 13-point lead.
It's fast. This is probably their quarter that it had the fastest points to get. It was 12 points that they had in this quarter, fast points, and we see air ball here. A lot of shots, like you talked about earlier, Russell, a lot of shots by the Huskies from deep three-point range, but they don't capitalize on it. And Algonquin's not really hitting. They're not really attempting any. We'll see if that can take over, because there's a couple guys that can't really shoot. We got Simon Desta in the corner, able to shoot, and he's really the only one that really started taking a lot of shots. Balmaceda had, I think, 1 or 2, but not really anything crazy. And we don't see a lot of luck so far. So let's see if he can, if he comes in, what happens when that happens.
And nicely trying to get it in, and he can't. Picked up by Mongrou. Handed off to Balmaceda, and James will keep that one out of his hands. And a lot of back and forth action here. And a couple stumbles. And thankfully, no one got hurt on that play. It was touch and go there for a while.
Yeah, the ball's on the ground. Guys are going to go get it. It's always like that, but now we'll see Algonquin once again getting the ball. Let's see what they do here. Let's see if they do something different. We're seeing a lot of simple basketball. Let's see if there's a couple play designs that are going to be in effect here, and a couple of things like that. But not too sure exactly if that's will be the case here, but let's see what happens.
Mongrou to Desta, to Balmaceda, LaChapelle, and that one's kept off, and try to keep it back in, but it'll go right back to Algonquin. Ted Braden using his body and handing it off to Mongrou, who's going to put that one up for an easy 2.
Great pass, great vision. Ted easily finding, he has some handles for a big man going down, seeing his teammate dishing it off, getting the point. Now we see Luck waiting to get substituted in the game. He's going to get in the game here. Let's see if he can get some points here and use that energy that we know that he can produce. So let's see if he can get out of the slump, Russell, that he's in recently. You know, only having 10 points last game. We know he's a big points producer. He's leading the league points average per game. Let's see here if he can turn it around and get some quick points and get on this scoreboard.
And Braden back with it, finding Mongrou. He has time and space. Looking at LaChapelle, trying to work him with his speed. Puts it up, off the backboard, can't get the rebound. And Jamar James speeding up with it. Moving around Desta. Circling back. Trying to find an open man. Walking in. Passing across to Frey Woodbine. He's trying to power his way in. And he'll go out of bounds before he can make that one. And Desta has some words. I think he's being called for a push.
Now let's see defensively how they can do here. We see here the Huskies getting a play design in. Some nice screens, some nice motion. Thought about shooting that, Russell.
Yeah.
He wanted to, and then he thought about it, pump fake once, twice, and then decided, no, I'm not going to do it today, and kept on playing his game.
And the Wolves continue to stack their lead. 15 points now. It was close for a bit. We're still seeing this physical game. A little less. The physicality's down a bit.
Yeah, very less fouls in this
less fouls
first 5
for sure.
minutes. In this first 5 minutes of this third quarter, way less fouls than what we had in even the last minute of the second quarter.
Oh, yeah.
So either it's less physicality or it's just players are playing less aggressive. I don't know exactly what's going on, but there's really a big amount of percent fouls-wise that aren't happening, which is good in the way.
A little bit more. They're causing a little more time and space.
Yes.
Options for the
Yes,
three-point
the court seems more open recently in the second half. There's more gaps that players are able to go to as we see those long passes.
And Opena snags that one away before he'd be swatted away, and he'll go up and drain the layup. Up to 44 on the night for his club. And it'll be his 4th point. And Frey Woodbine wants the 3, and he'll get it. And that's a statement shot. After Algonquin was running up the score, he gets his team to 30 on the night. And Braden with it now. He'll try to feed Devontae Brooks, but he'll just miss him on that one.
See, that's what we talked about before. It's not a communication problem. It's a teammates not getting where it needs to be, and it's a mistiming of a lot of things. Ted goes in the middle court, passes to his teammate. He thought his teammate was going to cut back to him. He ends up cutting the opposite way and ends up being out of bounds.
And Opena trying to work some moves, finds Mongru. And play will be halted. As Duderville will work it up for the Huskies. Gets it right into the zone and hands it off for a big-time shot. And that one airball picked up right away by Ted Braden. And Teslock Luke with the moves, driving in, spinning around. And that one will get called.
Yeah, it's back-to-back offensive fouls for Algonquin. So those are 2 big opportunities that they don't get points out of, and they still remain at 44 points. Russell, it's a little bit of, what do you think? Like, why we 2 offensive fouls? Like, I don't know. Like, I can't even see what
I mean, the refs are making the right calls. It's just been physical. What can you say? You know, players driving in the net, they're making the calls. You know, some nights the refs let it slide a bit more, and tonight's not that kind of night, but they've been consistent with the calls. So you have to take it where you just have to take it in a kind of night like this. Jamar James, guarded by Teslock Luke. He's trying to find an open man. Finds Frey Woodbine. Hands it back off to Johnson, who can't just quite finish it off. Mongru up to Teslock Luke. Weaving his way in. Guarded heavily by Duderville. And he'll give it to Devontae Brooks just outside the paint. And Opena, who's got time and space for a 3, but he'll go off the rim. And Ted Braden circling around, trying to drive. And no one can seem to agree with that call. A lot of shouts on the court, and they can't believe it. Possibility they're getting fed up with all the calls too.
Yeah, that's the 3rd possession in a row offensively for the Wolves that offensive foul was called. And that one, I don't know. The refs saw a little elbow go back. I don't know how. I didn't really see much of that, but from up here, it didn't look like it. Ref's got to do what he's got to do. He called the call, and you got to live with it, right, Russell?
And, you know, I agree. And, you know, sometimes as a player, you just kind of want to play, right? And sometimes, even if the call is justified, it's just the point where, like, you know, can we just keep playing? Like, the play is being stopped. And I think either side, both players are frustrated with some of these calls.
Exactly. It's kind of a saying, right? Let the kids play. Let them have fun. Let them go run. Let them go make plays. If you stop every second, right?
Sometimes too many calls can allow the game to get out of hand, too.
Exactly, and let it go to how it is now. But if it's a right call, you got to call it. You got to call it. But
I wouldn't say none of these calls are really, like, outlandish, like, oh, you had to call that.
Exactly.
You know? Some of them, you know, arguably. But I will say the refs have been consistent. They've been calling it.
Both teams, exactly, yeah.
They've been consistent. They've been calling pretty much the same kind of stuff all night. It's not like they've been favoring one side over the other. So
okay, so it's not like the Chiefs situation here, right?
I don't know about that. I don't think the Chiefs cheat, bro.
Oh, I had to lay that one in for the Bills Mafia fans out there. You know?
That's okay. They're gonna win the Super Bowl anyway. So 3-peat season. Sorry, had to be said on the live air. But back to basketball as the Huskies work the line. James putting it up. Can't get it on the rebound, and Devontae Brooks will grab it. Hands it off. Brooks has it again. Teslock Luke, lots of time and space for that three. And that one will take a heavy bounce and will be no good.
See, that's one of the shots, Russell, that they didn't need to take. You know, that those are kind of shots that there's better opportunities elsewhere. Get the ball moving, get some ball movement going, pass the ball instead of shooting it from there. You don't need to get there. There's other people that probably had better opportunities, better position to get a better shot off and possibly a better chance of the ball going in the net.
And Frey Woodbine with it now for the Huskies. Walking the three-point line. Huskies dangling in, trying to find some room in the paint. Wolves not giving them much. They're going to walk in and bang! Naz Roberts will find some room and take it. Get a bucket for his club.
The Huskies are keeping themselves in the game here. Wolves haven't scored in the last almost 4 minutes, Russell. Let's see if they can get a bucket here to drop in their favor.
And Teslock from just inside the paint will drain that one. And he'll get up to 7 on the night. As the Huskies continue to work the line. Now they're inside. Duderville to Frey Woodbine. He wants that shot. And that'll go off the backboard. Teslock Luke will give him a little chip, but he'll get up and be okay. Foul will be drawn, though.
Yeah, shot was up. Husky was able to get a shot off. Doesn't make it, able to get 3 free throws now because it was a 3-point attempt. Locke not happy with that foul. See, I'm really frustrated with it. Huskies got. Let's see if they can get all 3 free throws to drop in their favor and keep themselves in the game because that's what they're doing so far. They're not taking any lead. They're not taking, but they're taking shots and they're making them, and that's really what they got to do to keep themselves in the game.
Frey Woodbine will get that one. And he has 1 left to go. Gives it a 1 bounce. And he'll put it up, and that one goes off the rim, recovered by Westcart. Opena with it. Trying to dangle in. Guarded heavy by Woodbine. And that one will be called.
10-point lead, Russell.
As much as the Huskies have been putting up more points as of late, Wolves still leading big. They got double digits on the Huskies. From Nyandekwi to Westcarth as he tries to drive in, and that one will be fanned. And back come the Huskies with speed. They got numbers. Walking in, and that one goes off the backboard. No Penna. He's got speed. He's got Westcarth on his left. Has it in, and that one completely broken up by Johnson on the Huskies.
Great play defensively, though, Russell. 2-on-1. You got to decide. If you're a defender, you got to decide, what do I do? Where do I go? He goes to the offensive player, able to get a hand in, knock that ball away. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's a great play defensively because a lot of things can go wrong with that. You're 2-on-1. What do you do? Who you go for? It's a breakaway type style. He chose the right decision, able to get a hand on the ball. Great play by him.
And Naz Robert will start back in his own end, just behind the Algonquin letters. As the Huskies work their way up just past the Wolves logo and right in front of the three-point line. Robert stopped up, tries to find Duderville. Can't get it. Rebound picked up by Westcarth. And Westcarth giving a big bump to Duderville. And play will be stopped yet again.
Yeah, Russell try to get the offensive foul and see him kind of flop out there.
Well, I don't know if I call it a flop, but it was pretty good contact.
Pretty good contact. You're also a Chiefs fan, so you don't go whatever happens there.
Oh, that was a hard burn. I'll take that, though.
Free throw line here. Let's see if we can get this.
Westcarth will get that one.
You know, when I have those open shots, I got to take those open shots just like Algonquin does. And I got to lay it in.
That's a good one. I will say that. Westcart will try to go 2 for 2, and he will. Puts his club up big. And they're up by 12 points again as we're down to the final minute of this third quarter. Robert has it for the Huskies. Spitting in, working up, and that one's going to go over.
Yeah, now foul. Or sorry, no foul. Sorry. Algonquin's ball, and
Opena was not ready for that one. That one went right into the stands.
I don't know. I don't know what that was. That ball way too high for Pena to go get it, and
Just
turnover.
Just hurled down.
And that's all you want. You don't want to get turnovers like that. You want to keep the ball in your hands. We haven't seen a lot of turnovers this game for Algonquin, but that one right there, that's a costly one, and he's going to want that one back.
As the Huskies work the line, James walking in, he's got it. James spinning around, cutting in. Oh, and a big time block by Devontae Brooks. Denies Jamar James of a good time scoring chance.
Yeah, some great ball movement, able to, Huskies offensively, their players are going around the three-point line, able to cut right to the key, and Algonquin just comes, says, no, not in my house, not today, gets that ball out, and that should be a shot clock violation. Sorry, this should be Algonquin's ball. 28 seconds left here. Russell up by 12. Still looking Algonquin's favor so far here.
They've padded their lead and haven't given the Huskies much room to work with. As Opena will start for the Wolves. Gives it to Ruham Yandekwi. Ruham Yandekwi up to Opena. To Devontae Brooks. Walking right in, and he's going to drain that one. Don't know how he slipped through there, but he found a crack in the hole, and he went right through, and he put that one in the basket.
That was a great play by him. I don't know exactly. He caught the Huskies sleeping, I want to say, Russell.
Oh, and Opena. Big time turnover, and it's in. And that will close out the third quarter. And wow, two back-to-back highlight reel plays. And the Wolves, a sizable lead now.
Russell, that was the best quarter of play they had so far today. This third quarter, they scored just under 20 points. They were at 18 points in that quarter. That was an excellent quarter for them. And they played incredible all over. And we'll see here the fourth quarter, they can maintain the lead. Don't let anything, like we saw that turnover that happened not long ago. That cannot happen. We got to stay on the game plan, and keep going from there.
And a big-time 16-point lead. Talk about maybe not scoring as much and giving the Huskies a little more chance, but to end this third quarter, Wolves really dominated. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back with you. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Wolves basketball at the Arc. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Russell Silverson, and joining me is my color commentator, as always,
Seth Poirier.
And we're back here for the last quarter of Wolves basketball here at the Arc. Ruam Yandekwi working the line, finding Balmaceda. He'll shimmy shake up top, and he'll cut in, and play will be whistled dead.
Russell, I'm excited to see how this fourth quarter goes because this is a game we talked about earlier. Algonquin's got to come away with the victory. They got to find a way to get a win, and so far they're playing a good game plan, but you got to stick to it because we know how fast a lead can change, and we don't want that to happen right now. We want that we want, like, if I'm an Algonquin player or coach, you want to keep this lead. You want to play defense. You want to play offense. Some shots are going to go in for the Huskies, but we got to go in back offense. We got to go make some shots.
And you know, Algonquin hasn't really hit too many threes in this game either. A lot of it's just been from driving the net. And, you know, they've been powerful. And here's another big drive by Ruam Yandekwi. Haven't hit a lot of jump shots. They haven't had to. And it's paid off for them big. The Huskies putting that one in. They'll drive right towards the net. And Ruam Yandekwi coming across the logo. Spin past. Finding Opena. And fighting Balmaceda up close. He's spinning back, halting. Finding Brooks. Brooks trying to spin in, and he can't. Pass blocked. And play is whistled dead.
There's going to be a foul there on the Huskies. But Russell, so far Huskies are coming out in this fourth quarter. They're hungry. They're trying to take away this win because they're fighting. Obviously, right now they're in the playoffs, but they're trying to fight to keep going up because right now, sitting at 6 wins, they're trying to get up to the 7th win and keep climbing from there. But so far, right now, Algonquin's not letting them, but it's only 11 points. Anything can happen. Basketball especially. You make 3 shots, it can become a totally different game. You don't want that right now if you're Algonquin. You have just under 9 minutes. We're up for free throws. Let's play a clean game, play great offense, play great defense. Keep up the rebounding just like that, and go from there.
And Devontae Brooks in the paint trying to make a quick move, and he does. He'll get that one in. As the Huskies trying to make up for lost time, and Devontae Brooks steals that one. Will he go over the layup? Puts that one just over the net, and the rebound, he can't get that one. Can't tap it back in. And this ball will go sliding out of bounds.
Yeah, once again, Algonquin taking control. Let's see here what they do, what type of play design is going to be called. Who's going to call it? Who's going to take a shot? Let's see if we can get a couple threes. Let's get a little excitement going here for us in the booth. Hey, Russell, get a couple threes going. Maybe another dunk by Ted. Something to make us go crazy here. Let's see what happens.
Another dunk by Ted would hit me like caffeine at 5 a.m. in the morning. It would feel really good. And here's a three-point shot off the rim, and it won't go.
I was about to say they were hearing us, I guess, on the sideline, probably listening to the
hearing us
live
again.
stream.
Yeah. As the Huskies try to work their way in, and that one will go into the back of the net. And Ruam Yandekwi will start back up for the Wolves. Over to Opena. Opena to Braden. Back to Opena. Signaling players. Move around. Tries to work. Gives Balmaceda a little room. And that one bounced off the rim, and Devontae Brooks can't tap that one in.
So it'll be over the back foul against the Huskies. Algonquin will be taking control of once again from the baseline. Algonquin offensively really holding on to that ball so far. Had a couple mishaps. Really fine-tuning those little things that they need to fix. And they're getting points. When Huskies are getting points, they're coming out, they're getting points again. And looking for them to hit a 3 here.
And Balmaceda, that shot blocked almost immediately, but he keeps with it. And that one will bounce out and go out of bounds.
Yeah, he was open for the 3, got blocked. He was open for a bit, but, you know, he's not the tallest player. And the player that was guarding him was able to put his hand up and really had that length in his wingspan, able to get a hand on it and block it.
And Huskies with it now. Huskies. And Balmaceda down with it. It gives it up to Devontae Brooks. Brooks coming back. pushing in, cycling up. He'll get tangled up by two Huskies, and that play won't go nowhere. And a bit of contact. And I don't think Brooks was too happy with that.
Yeah, a little dispute between these players. One fell on top of each other, a little aggressive there. Luckily, there's no fight going on the court. We don't want another one of those. And let's see here. When you're up like this type of game, players have a lot of emotions. So let's see here if they can control it and not have any altercations continue. Hopefully, they can sort things out, and we're back on the free throw.
Devontae Brooks will go 1 for 1 now in the free throw, and I'll see if he can get the second shot now. And he'll give it 2 bounces and a spin. And he'll throw it up and put it down. And get his Wolves up to 57 on the night. Huskies working the ball. Walking around, trying to go in. Oh, and they're going to get it. Raheem Roberts puts that one in.
Great play, juggling the ball in the air. Circus shot, able to let it go in. And now we see here double team, a different type of defense from the Huskies. A little shift going on.
And Desta trying to look in to shoot. He will. Goes off the back of the rim and out. Huskies move it up. Chikwe handing it off to Barry. Hands it off to Frey Woodbine. Goes over to Roberts. Roberts back to Chikwe, who's going to put it up and just go off the rim and recovered by Ted Braden, who's going to have an Opena. A lot of room. He's got Balmaceda to his left, or to his right, excuse me. And that one, he'll try to drive himself and go off the backboard and out of play.
A lot of times when that happens, Russell, I'm trying to put myself in their head. Never played basketball in my life. In gym, played basketball. Never played competitive in the team, in the league, right? So you go on the 2-on-1 like that. Because you played hockey, so it's kind of, what's your mentality? It's like kind of the same thing. You're on 2-on-1. You got you and your teammate going down the ice, going against the goalie. What's your mentality? You pass in there, you shoot it. What you do? Like, I'm trying to picture here. What's the best thing to do here?
On that play, he had 2 good options. He could have drove it. He could have passed it. Defender was in a good spot. He chose to drove it. Maybe the player would have blocked it if he passed it. Maybe he wouldn't have. It depends. You got to be sneaking. You got to be fast when you're hitting those passes from across, especially in basketball, because you just get a hand. A ball is much easier to hit with your hand than a puck is with your stick. So I think he made the right play on that one. Did go in, but they're not all going to go in. And Huskies working the line. Frey Woodbine handing it off to Barry. Barry guarded heavily by LaChapelle. And hang it off. Frey Woodbine's in the key. And over. Oh, and they just managed to keep it in, the Huskies. And that one will go way over. And will be no good.
Yeah, just under 6 minutes here. Algonquin is going to call timeout almost to the 60-point range. Huskies are trying to climb their way back up, but it might be a little too much work and a little less time.
Only time will tell as the Wolves hold a commanding 14-point lead.
So far, they're staying focused on their goal. Their goal is to win this game. Their goal is to solidify themselves as a 4 seed in the playoffs and really get a home game in the qualifying match in 2 weeks, Russell, I believe. But right now, they have to finish this game. They got to come out here with the W, and they're looking like they're going to do that so far.
Talk about controlling your own destiny. Well, a win tonight would allow them to control their own destiny.
Yeah, and you talked about that earlier. You control your own destiny. A lot of things. You're putting all the pressure, maybe not pressure, but everything in your hands. Instead of hoping, I hope they lose. I hope that team wins. Stuff like that, right? You do your job and you take care of it. That's all you gotta do. So it's right now. If Algonquin can win here today, like you say, they're controlling their destiny, and that's what they gotta do. They're underdog team on paper, 4th in the East, looking to solidify themselves at 4th in the East, possibly climb up to 3, but get that home qualifying playoff game in 2 weeks.
And Balmaceda just over the logo. Pass it to Opena. De La Chapelle. He's down low. Get it to Desta. Back over to Balmaceda. And Opena going to shoot. And that one off the rim. Recovered by Balmaceda out of midair. I'd make a great vertical. And oh, play's broken. Jamar James putting it up and passing it over to his teammate Raheem Roberts for the 2. And that's a sloppy turnover by Algonquin. Can't allow that to happen. Potentially give Huskies a chance to come back in that game.
And that's only the second turnover that Algonquin does, and it's really a bad one.
And they'll get that one right back by Opena.
That's a nice way to drop it in the bucket there, but that's the turnover that happened, the possession earlier. That's not what you want at all, Russell. You can't have turnovers like that. It's only the second one they have. They're lucky that they don't have many turnovers, but it can cost them in the long run. We don't want that.
And the Wolves, oh, the Huskies, Raheem Roberts with back-to-back buckets. This one being a three-point shot. And Wolves hit some taunting with the timeout symbol.
No, technical is actually called.
Oh, technical.
I don't know if he said something, the Husky player, after he hit the big three. I don't know what happened. If he says something or I don't know exactly what happened, Russell. There's a technical on him. Fans are going crazy on him because he was taunting the fans, and then the technical was thrown, and they all got up.
Yeah, I like it. I like some good fan reaction. That's what we'll see here. Balmaceda put up the point on that one.
When you're playing hockey, you'll trash talk a bit here and there. That's not much of you.
I was a pretty clean player.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd sometimes sit in front of the net and people would cross-check me. I was like, is that a sergeant you can hit me? But that's pretty much about it. Never played that high-level hockey, so didn't really run into that.
Yeah.
La Chapelle with it. Spinning around, fighting Balmaceda. Hands it off to Opena up high. He's trying to work in, guarded by 3 Huskies, and he can't. Balmaceda, he's trying to work his way in. Oh, and that one will just bounce over the net. And on the rebound, and just couldn't put it in, was Holder of the Wolves. As the Huskies trying to get back some points in this one. They won't. Play will be whistled dead yet again.
Yeah, it's going to be foul. Algonquin pulled down on the rebound. So it'll be Huskies ball, down by 12. Let's see if George Brown can come out here and get some points going. The fans really taunting number 4 of the Huskies. Let's see what happens here next. But 12 points, just over 4 minutes left. Russell, it's going to be an interesting finish.
And Opena circling it. Oh, and how Balmaceda has it wide open is Simon Desta, who puts it up. Don't know where Desta came from. He came out of nowhere almost. Just goes to show how sneaky of a player he is, and he's going to drain that one. Oh, and look at the fans now calling for the technical, pointing out. Are they going to get it?
Ball goes out of bounds. Nice.
Wow, this is a very active Algonquin crowd. You know, I'd go as far to say the best fans in the league. You heard that right. Wolves fans, best fans in the league.
By far, they bring the energy, and that's what Algonquin's got to do. They got to play with the energy. That's why you want a home playoff game. For this exact reason right here.
For this environment and these fans, all day, every day. Huskies look to work it back up. Trying to toss it up. And another call by the refs, and that'll stop play.
Russell, it's been an exciting little bit, but Huskies cannot get over the jump of 14 points. Still down 14.
I mean, 14 points, I've seen crazier things happen, and Wolves fans cheering as Raheem Roberts goes off. He got called for technical before, I believe it was taunting the fans. Jamar James coming back, tries to pass it off. This Algonquin crowd getting louder as the night goes on, which is exactly what we like to see. They're bringing the energy tonight. And Johnson now for the Huskies on the free throw attempt. He'll drain that one.
Yeah.
And he'll look to go for another.
And last time these teams played each other, Algonquin won 72-63. So still close game last time, and right now it's a close game also. So let's see who comes out with the victory here. Down by 12. Let's see if the Huskies have a possible comeback in the air.
Very possible. Opena driving to the net. Oh, and that one will go up and in, and Albert Opena will get another bucket on the night. His 12th point of the night, leads all players currently active on the court. What a night he's having. Oh, and a turnover. Balmaceda. I'll give it back to Desta. Wasn't able to take off with it, but he'll reset, and they'll work the ball up as a team. Simon Desta to Balmaceda. La Chapelle. And play will be halted.
Yeah, you see both coaches of these teams really agitated. They really want to go out. They want the team to win. That's passionate. Their passion is basketball, obviously, if you're going to be a coach, especially for Algonquin, 28 years of experience. And you saw in his speech during the senior night before the game started, he was saying he was in the same shoes as some of these players before and I turned coach. So it's a nice little thing for him, but a lot of passion from both these coaches, especially from Algonquin's sideline.
And I can't believe we haven't talked about this yet, but we got to talk about Trevor Costello. The senior night ceremony, awesome.
It was a show, man.
It was a show, and I expect nothing less from Trevor Costello. I loved it. It was great. All the personal little gifts and all the little gags.
The stories.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. It was hilarious. Ending it off with the shoes for Simon Desta. Absolutely.
The crowd went wild when he pulled out the boxes of Jordans. Oh, man.
Trevor Costello is a pure beauty. There's nothing else you can say. I love it. That was a great ceremony. That's a great way to send off to your players. And here's Opena. He wants the three. Won't get it. Rebound recovered by the Huskies. And they'll spin around. Frey Woodbine. Jamar James. And now Robert. And that one will go in.
Closest lead we've seen in a while. 10 points, Russell, only separating these both teams.
And Ted Braden trying to separate that pass. That was intended for Opena. Rebound recovered by Algonquin. Opena. La Chapelle. Handing off the Balmaceda, who just manages to stay in bounds. Almost crashes in the Huskies bench. Braden to Desta. Cycling around. Finding La Chapelle deep. Opena. A lot of time. People are calling for him to shoot. Bang! Albert Opena with a gorgeous three. Gets his team to 69 points on the night.
That's a great bucket by the Husky player right here, but great job by him hitting the three. It was wide open. He took his time. The crowd's in it. Everyone's got their threes up, and he's able to get it.
And La Chapelle walking in, trying to get that one in. Banged it right off the rim. And another one. That'll be blocked by the Huskies and come back the other way. Here come the Huskies. Frey Woodbine. A lot of time to shoot. That play stopped. And Ted Braden pushing his way with power. Desta waiting. Finds Ted Braden wide open. Oh! And fans want a call on that, as Ted Braden was hit with a bit of contact.
Yeah, a bit of contact there. Sportsmanship still happening, though. Husky player was able to still lift him up. Hey, man, you good? But that could have been a scary situation. It's a big guy jumping up in the air, going to attack the rim, and comes down pretty hard.
Good display of sportsmanship. Helping him back up, getting ready. Just goes to show sportsmanship that both of these teams have.
You got to. It's sports. There's got to be a bit of sportsmanship. There's got to be a bit of trash talk too. It's all part of the game. It's all part of how beautiful these games are.
And a timeout will be called.
No, I believe there's a technical foul actually, Russell.
No, I think I heard Victor say it was a timeout. Yeah.
Oh yeah, just because I see the ref putting the ball at the free throw line. So.
Yeah, there's a timeout. As we await the game
glasses is what I need.
You need,
Yeah, I don't have the same vision as these players
you
with
need
those
glasses
passes.
and a calculator because you can't count either, right?
True.
Or with the glasses help you see the scoreboard better.
Yeah, no, but I have the Elon Musk technology with he has like the calculator, so it just gives me like the AI stuff in my head right away. I'm gonna call him up and I'm gonna have a little
ask
chat
for
with him.
pre-order?
Yeah, I'm a pre-order. We'll see if he can do a little deal for me. But yeah, so far, I believe just under 50 seconds left, Russell. Lead of 11. It was to 10 points at one point. There's a bit of turnover happening late, but I believe it's going to be the Wolves able, if the Wolves are able to stick to the game plan, which they have so far, they focus on what they need to do, they're going to get it. There's 44 seconds left. If they got to take, when they get the ball next possession, waste time. Let the clock go down. You don't need to force anything because then turnovers happen. Huskies take advantage of it. They drop the ball in, and then one thing leads to another, and then the Wolves, are stuck with not the lead anymore.
Hopefully they do not blow the sizable lead that they have in 43 seconds. That would be an all-time blown lead. But we'll focus on the now as Ted Braden takes a second free throw shot. He'll go 0 for 2 on that attempt.
Let's see if we get to 70. Let's see if we can attain that 7-0
You want that
mark.
last point?
100%. We got to hit that 70 mark, Russell. I think we're going to get it right here. I see it. I envision it.
And Peter Yokai will start with it. Hand it off to CJ Galaza. Galaza spinning around. Oh, behind the back. The fans like that. Putting it up. And Seth, you'll get your 70th and 71st point on the night as the Huskies try to make for some last-minute offense. As Galaza works in. Turned over. And play will be halted.
Russell, that was a great ankle breaker going right to the net, dropping it in, and those fans are going crazy. Those courtside fans, man, they had to pay those big bucks to be sitting there, and man, the energy, if I'm playing, I'm carrying their energy right now into the booth. Last 30 seconds here, Russell. Up by a little less than 20. I need my calculator. I can't count right now, so.
29.9. 30
man.
seconds, under 30 seconds, just under 30 seconds. As we await.
13 points. I counted real quick in my head.
Oh, and the fans going wild. They want something to be called.
They got it. They got another technical foul called on the Huskies. I think a player said something to the ref.
And CJ Galaza will go for the free throw attempt. And fans shouting onto the court. And CJ Galaza goes to take his free throw attempt. Puts it up, and it'll go in. It'll take a bounce off the top of the rim, but it will go in.
.73 is calling right now.
He wants it.
And he answered.
And CJ Galaza will put the second free throw attempt in the hoop. And go for the third attempt now. And he'll drain that one. Put his Wolves up 74-58 with under 30 to go. On a turnover. And Galaza tries to pick that one up, but couldn't quite get a grip on it. It'll go out of bounds. As the clock continues to wind down, players starting to wind down as well. The clock will run out. And Galaza will pass over to Mongrue. And Victor Paulo will give us the call on the treadmill, or on the elliptical, excuse me. And that will conclude the game. Wolves improved to 10-6 on the season with a big 74-58 win. I'll hand it over to Seth Poirier to break it all down here. So, keep their destiny alive. Destiny's in their own hands. They get to 10-6.
Yeah, 100%, and played a great game, and a lot of foul, a lot of whistle blown. The first half, the second half was really let go a bit. There's a lot more open space on the court, a lot more passing able to be done, a lot more, and we've seen a lot less drive. We see a lot more finesse with the passes, and we're seeing a lot more skill, a lot more finesse with the moves, able to drive to the hoop. Nice shot selection. It was nice. It was a great game by them. Great way to come away with the victory. And like you said, control their destiny. 10-6, sitting tightly at 4th place, and looking great to playoffs. And we've been talking about it the whole time. So far, there's a couple players that, like Tesla Luck, a bit in a slump right now. I don't know really what got into it. He didn't play much.
Didn't play much, but didn't need to either, right?
He didn't need to, but when he did go on, he had moments that he was shining, but there's a couple times where there was a bit of issues there. But offensively, defensively,
Wolves played a great
game. Exactly.
Yep.
And when it comes to defensively, they're moving sideways pretty well. Hands are active. They're getting where they need to be. They're on the ball. Offensively, they're not shooting what they don't need to. That's a big step for them in their success, is shooting what's there. Don't take what's not given to you.
Yeah. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's broadcast of your Algonquin College Wolves taking on the George Brown Huskies. I've been your play-by-play commentator, Russell Silverson, and joining me to my right, as always, has been Seth Poirier. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great night.